ready to receive what you are going to um, give us today. I pray that you will protect us from the attacks of the enemy and that you will be with us and cause us to learn more and grow more in you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, welcome again for lesson 4, week 4. Today we're going to have an area sophomore from Texas to present William Wilberforce. Okay, let's welcome Ariel.
Hi, so everybody can see my screen, right? First of all?
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody can see my screen. Okay. So today I'm going to present a brief introduction on William Wilberforce. William Wilberforce lived from 1759 to 1833. He died 1 month before his 74th birthday. William Wilberforce was an English politician who became the voice of the abolition movement in the English Parliament. He was also a philanthropist. He was a slightly built man, about 5'3" in height, and suffered bouts of bad health. It was said that although in appearance he looked like a hunchback, when he mounted the platform, his eloquence transformed him into a giant. During his early years, he went to Hull Grammar School under Joseph Milner, an evangelical Anglican minister. He was then sent to live with his aunt and uncle after his father had died. Through their influence, he came to the faith at the age of 12. Through this home, he met influential people like George Whitefield and John Newton, the person who wrote Amazing Grace. But unfortunately, during college, he became as worldly as any of his friends. In 1779, he became friends with William Pitt. Both were young and ambitious politicians. In 1784, William went on tour with Isaac Milner, his former schoolteacher's brother. William was surprised to find that someone who he could respect intellectually could also embrace a Christian worldview. They read the Greek New Testament and Philip's The Rise and Progress of Religion in the Soul. He was reconvicted in the faith and acknowledged a sense of my great sinfulness in having so long neglected the unspeakable mercies of my God and Savior. Although he thought that his call to ministry was to retire from public life, his friends in Newton and Pitt encouraged him to stay in Parliament and serve Christ there. So after a long period of self-questioning, he reached his famous conclusion that God asked to adopt similar measures and to ensure that the laws were enforced. After stopping the slave trade, he devoted himself for the next 25 years to ending the institution of slavery. And finally, 3 days before his death in 1833, he heard that the House of Commons had passed a law emancipating all slaves in the British Empire. So now, the most important facts about William Wilberforce to remember. Number 1, William Wilberforce changed him from a careless and wealthy young politician to a compassionate public servant. Number 2, he developed and used his gifts to champion countless efforts to better the society, for example, through his profession of being a philanthropist and doing the church work that he did. And last but not least, he was a moral leader who voted against his party when principle required it. So an example would be the abolition of slavery. And thank you for watching and listening.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. It's only sophomore. And yep. Okay, so we're going to into today's lecture. And probably if you want to get to know William Wilberforce, that's a movie called Amazing Grace. That'll be good time to watch the snow day. Actually, New York's snowing is beautiful. Okay. All right, today we're going to have some change, okay? If you could still add those age code in front of your screen name. And today we're going to have a breakout room for middle school and above, okay? Elementary school will stay in the main room with me, all right? And we're going to let you voluntarily choose a different age group. At the end of the section, we will let you know, all right? So hopefully this way will work out better for those who want to join the breakout room. Since it's volunteer, if you want to join the breakout room, need to turn on your video if possible and participate in the conversation, all right? So we don't want to like 5 people in the breakout room and only one turn on video and nobody want to talk, okay? So if you, whatever age group you don't want to join, it's fine. Just stay in the main room. So this way I don't want to see, I hate that 100 people just drop, okay? So this is roughly our time. Peace is our understanding. Peace from California is our main host today. Also watch the time for me, all right? If let's go out the time, that give me some warning. For you, if a first time join, I just give you some announcement here. Monday to Friday, we do have a Bible devotions. Welcome to join us. 8 and 5 p.m. a.m. 5 p.m. is New York time. If you also first join, you can write down this WeChat code to join WeChat group, so you can have more up-to-date information about this class. And this is the other WeChat group if you're interested. We also have a FB for this. We're using this textbook. I hope you really take this class time to read through the book. I think that will be much beneficial than you just listen, right? So today we're here, week 4. Next week, Chinese New Year. So we're going to take a break. We Chinese, this is big day. And for today, I think you cannot unmute yourself. So if you want to talk, you got to raise a hand, okay? And but I also need to say it's allow you to talk, okay? All right. So next week, no class. But I do feel there's much more less interesting, but I know it's a lot of people. You know, sometimes I really like to have interaction during the class. Okay, let's see how they go. All right. So we come back on, whoa, so late, 21st. Okay. So you can take this time to read the chapter you're missing. All right. Because we do provide a certificate. All right. You never know. Okay. Maybe after I pass away, you have this certificate with Lenny Chen. It maybe was allowed. I don't know. Okay. So it's 8 sections, and then read through the book, have a final exam, and then write only one page. Okay. Guess I can ask you to unmute, so I just answer this myself. Creation, for redemption, and restoration. Remember the things, okay? Final exam, we definitely gonna have this. So we are where? We are still here at the first, creation. That's where we talk about where do we come from. Now we're gonna talk about who we are, okay? So that lesson title is Life Worth Living. Life Worth Living. Oh, this is same for this. Skip this. Why we need to stay talk about this here? Because this is a foundation. All right. Creation is based on the word of God. It's foundation. Without this cannot stand. On the other side, evolution is man's idea, and it's also all other theories' foundation, right? So today, we often talk about the problem or the symptoms, but without dealing evolution. That is a problem. We need to hit the bottom, the foundation. So actually, unfortunately, enemy been attacking the creation. Right. Oh, we don't care about creation. Who cares? Just believe in Jesus. And so all this, we have no ground to speak. So I want you to, after this class, whenever you hear any theory or when you're in school, you learn anything, any idea, you always need to say, excuse me, okay, I'm not asking you to as teacher, okay? Just ask yourself, excuse me, and then ask yourself for this question, who said it? According to what theory? Okay, like you hear about evolution, who said it? Darwin. Okay, he's what? He's talking about evolution. Then you got to know, what does the Bible say? So you got to know Bible very well. I really encourage them. Welcome to join us. We are in Leviticus. First time I really enjoy Leviticus, honestly. Before I read it by myself, I just think I need to go through it. But now I need to read with a lot of you. and I dig into deeper, and I really enjoy that. Okay, can I have a can I see some hands up that you also enjoy Leviticus? Anybody there? Can I see some hands up there? I couldn't see it. Let me see. Can I see it? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you see? Leviticus, we enjoy that. Oh, thank you. Oh, but I wish I could have more. Only okay. So again, all right. I hope this is just a practice, all right? We cannot cover everything, but when you hopefully after this worldview class, you always remember this. Whenever you see something, hey, who said it? And according to what theory? And then you get to what does Bible say? Okay? And today we just every lecture basically we practice this way. All right. So I hope you have chance to read this story. The reason I like Chuck Colson's book that he inserted this type of amazing story between the chapters, and every story can make it can make it a movie. I wish maybe we can find it. And today this is a special. I like war movie. Guys, man. Actually, sometime I used to take our young boys to go to watch the war movie. All right, I'm not just want to watch those violent killing. I want to that the boy to know how to defend and sacrifice their life for country, for family. And if you read this book, this story is amazing, right? During the Vietnam War, and this soldier Ken McGarty, he suffered a great injury during the war, and then very bad shape, and then the doctor still decided to save him. And this is just few conversation. Look, Ken, this guy, he's a soldier. Why send blind double amputates with significant brain damage back to their parents? What were you thinking? Swan is a doctor, found himself responding from his gut. I was trained to treat the sick. It's not up to me who lives and die. That's God's decision. Wow. If you know that back then, I forgot to put it on my slide. Every doctor that needs to sign this, right? They will do whatever thing to save the patient, not harm the patient. And he almost lost this soldier Ken. He almost lost hope. Can you see the such big damage? And he said a prayer. Said, God, if you are there and will be with me, let me know. He prayed. Give me a sign. What sign? In an instant, he said, you can take my eyes, you can take my arms, my legs, my mind, but leave my life. He cannot see anymore. He lost his legs in very bad shape. We're going to continue the story to the end. This is what happened, right? And actually, we had a good discussion that I didn't put it in the breakdown. You can say, if you were the soldier, if you're the doctor, would you save? Or if you're the soldier, you wanted to choose to live? Then we need to know, okay, main question, who we are. So this is the meaning of human existence. Why are we here? What is the value of human life? Hopefully through today's class, we can try to answer those questions. The question of where life comes from is not some academic argument for scientists to debate. Our understanding of the origin of life is intensely personal, and it determines what we believe about human identity, what we value, and what we believe in our very reason for living. It determines who lives and who dies. Wow, this is very important questions. You're going to decide who lives or who died, or we're going to decide. So this is a life and death question. And so again, we're going to practice how we view anything in the world. All right. So every lesson will be a practice. We're going to look at from the evolution point of view, or even look at from biblical point of view. So we first. Yes.
Charles has a question.
Okay. What question?
Oh, I forgot to put my hand.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So you just say this good. All right. Thank you. All right. But good practice. All right. All right. Okay. So evolution, we call human being a Homo sapiens, right? It's like, I didn't. They many years ago, million years ago. So, well, that would be a good test. If you hear about million years ago, what would you say? What would you ask? If you remember last week, I talked about if someone said million years ago, what do you say? Were you there? Remember? Were you there? Okay. It's a 200,000 years ago. Were you there? Right? And that's from the book. It's an amazing. Some human being, okay, in the Denmark, they want to present themselves as Homo sapiens. So they want to say we are just Homo sapiens, so we can be in the zoo also. All right, that's exhibition. But the funny thing is that they still wear clothes, and they want to go to the bathroom. That still not showing like animals. So you think about it, we are still different, but yet we want to downgrade us just like any other animals. So then first talk about life, especially abortion. This is a very, very tough issue in our society today, right? And we hear the arguments that it's my body, isn't it? If we were not created by God and therefore not found by its law, if we are simply the most advanced and primate, why shouldn't we do whatever we choose? This is a problem that if we are not, you see, evolution provide a reason to, hey, we are not created by God, so why we need to listen to God? All right? And this is from this guy, Descartes. You heard about this, right? I think, therefore I am. Another thing, you take this worldview class, you need to know, remember, ideas have what? Can someone raise their hand to answer? Ideas have, someone can give me the answer or type it in the chat. Idea have what? Let me open the chat. Can someone answer that? Idea have what? Nobody answer me? Can you can people type? Idea have what? Can anybody answer that? The phrase?
I said ideas have consequences.
Very good, very good. Thank you. Yeah, idea have consequence. That's the power of this, right? Sorry, whenever the weather is not good, I think I lost that. Let's come back on. That's okay. You hear me now? Right. So idea have a consequence. So you think about this. His revolution idea that make human mind, not God, is the source of certainty. You think about, if I can think, then I exist, and if people cannot think, then people don't exist. You see that? All right, that's idea. So, and this is Rustin guy. He said, if God does not exist, then everything is permissible. The death of God means the death of morality. Isn't that? Who says so? Who has more power? So it cannot do that, it cannot do this. End up will be only by government, by state, that using the force. Because if God doesn't exist, who can set the boundaries, right? So when we talk about abortion, we got to come to this Roe versus Wade, right? It's coming up actually. We just passed the anniversary. It actually happened in 1970. A woman in Texas, she used her pseudonym and to sue the state of Texas because she wanted to fight that back then you cannot have abortion or easily, and so she bring it to the Supreme Court, And in 1973, Supreme Court allowed it to have abortion, and it means legalized abortion in all United States. And that is why you probably all often very heard about this. Whenever the Supreme Court judge is going to be nominated, they'll say, are you going to support this or not? Okay, so this is really a turning point for the culture. And interestingly, this lady later on she became a Christian and she never aborted her baby. All right, and then she's fighting for for the Christian sake, but unfortunately, the case really legalized abortion. So, although there's some boundary on the earlier 3 months, you can look at the detail, but main idea is that they allowed it. But originally, even they allowed it, they just allowed it for certain condition. All right, certain cases like for mother's health or for rape, for instance. But now it's total story now. Now we bring it to the right. Whatever, I don't like it, you just can do it, right? So, do you know what's a Chinese name for mother's womb? What's the Chinese name? I can open it, or just type it. Someone know what's Chinese name for this? Mother, this for baby inside the mother's womb. How do you call that in Chinese? No, it's okay. I just answered it. It's easier. 子宫, child's palace. Isn't it interesting? But that means that Chinese know that mother's womb is a palace for child to protect the child. But now we make it to the slaughterhouse. So that's saddest thing. I give you some statistics here. Okay, after the Roe vs. Wade, that since 1973, how many baby was killed? Or maybe nobody want to say this baby. 62,000. Oh, okay, 62 million. Wow. And they're just gone. And you just look at these statistics, and especially for black kids, black babies, even more, right? That 30% of abortion is on black, right? And they're only about 12.7 in the population. And these are some statistics. In 2014, 19% of U.S. pregnancies end in abortion. But New York, it's way up higher, 35%. And oftentimes when you hear the debate, they talk about, oh, how about that people will rape or the mother has health issues. You look at it, it's very, very tiny. Most is just like no reason. Of course, that's the reason. They just don't want to have kids. Maybe, yes, there are some, they just don't want it. So you just see, and we all heard about this Planned Parenthood. There's a 700 million year industry. It's a lot of money there. And not only China, not only America. I was shocked when I see this. In Taiwan, in 2018, that's half a million baby was aborted, and only about 190,000 baby was born. Wow. And China, even the highest abortion rate. So, Winston Churchill said, when one man dies, it is a tragedy, but when thousands die, it is statistics. It's really, really sad statistics. The Bible said, rescue those who are being taken away to death. Hold back those who are stumbling to the slaughter. Wow. Did we see that? Did we see those baby was killed with nobody heard the cry? So this is a culture of death we are living now. Abortion is a wedge used to split open the historical Western commitment to the dignity of human life. If human race cannot treasure their own life, who will? Right? You know this guy, right? Actually, one thing tonight is Super Bowl night, right? So Tim Tebow in 2010, they show advertisement on the Super Bowl. I'm going to show it to you.
I call him my miracle baby. He almost didn't make it into this world. I can remember so many times when I almost lost him. It was so hard. Well, he's all grown up now, and I still worry about his health. You know, with all our family's been through, we have to be tough. Timmy, we're trying to tell our story here.
Sorry about that, Mom. You still worry about me, Mom?
Well, yeah, you're not nearly as tough as I am. I call him my miracle.
I know you have seen that before.
Lenny, I don't think we can hear it.
Oh, could you
do it again?
I purposely test that sound. Oh, let me see.
Oh. Most people can hear it.
Most people can hear, but some cannot.
Yes. Some cannot. Most people can.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure I'll put his headphone in input. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, sorry for those who cannot hear it. All right. Okay, so
most people can hear it.
Okay.
That's what it says.
All right, good to know that. So probably Tim Tebow, right? That's wow, he's just such strong. But actually, when the mother, when he was born in Philippines, the parents are missionary in Philippines, and when the mother have him, the doctor said, "Oh, they have some problem. You better abort it," but the mother didn't. Okay, because they trust God, they didn't do it. And when he was born, it's a good healthy baby, all right. So that's why they call his miracle baby, all right. Okay, let's continue. So that's about cultural death. And then of course people are going to say, oh, how about the quality of life? If you are poor, if you are honest. When I even heard of one girl from our youth group many years ago. He said, if a child is born with some defect and they couldn't go to college, she's supposed to specifically use college, then her life has no meaning. Wow, I was shocked. She used college as to determine the quality of life. You can think about why our mind be thinking about that. And then euthanasia, actually very sad that the name euthanasia means good death. Think about how can I just should the culture try to change what God view. All right. So we quickly want to say, okay, then what God say? All right. What did the Bible say? All right. So when you hear this all the time, right? Probably you hear it in the school, in the news, in everywhere, in the debate, or hear this. Okay, since all right, I heard that. Then you got to think about us, we as a Christian. What does Bible say? First, we need to know this is the sovereignty of God, life, especially life. The God who made the world and everything in it. Again, creation matter, okay? Because creation means He create. Think about it. If you're an artist, you create a very nice jar, a nice piece, then you own it. Nobody, if someone destroyed it, that offends you, right? So first thing they want to take away is that God didn't create it. So when you destroy the art piece, it didn't offend anybody. And you're gonna say, oh, I own that. You see that? So the first thing we need to know, God create all this. And then He Himself give to all mankind life and breath and everything. So we need to know even our life is given by God, not our own, not evolved from nothing. Okay? And so God has the sovereignty to decide. Okay? So the Job this very popular was, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. And the Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Praise to the name of the Lord. That's sovereignty of God. We don't own our own life. So you'll notice Mother Teresa said, only God can decide life and death. This is why abortion is such a terrible sin. You are not only killing life, but putting self before God. Everything what we see in the society basically is we want to put ourselves before God. And it'll be interesting to see, actually, most people, when they do this, they know God. They read the Bible, but then what? Their purpose want to reverse. You just look at everything from Bible, especially from Genesis. Everything, now the people want to reverse that. I think that the purpose, if guardians, you as a kid, probably you know, right? Whenever your parents say something, you purposely want to say no, right? Or in a political party, no matter what you do, the other side always against you. They just purpose of against you. And I think that probably this is the same reason here, right? Yet people decide who has to live and who has to die. They want to make themselves Almighty God. They want to take the power of God in their hand. The way to say, I can do without God, I can decide. This is the most delicious thing that a human hand can do. Wow. Isn't that we live in such time like this? Whatever God said, people say, who says so? I want to do it. If he say good, I'm going to say it's evil. If he says it's evil, I'm going to say it's good. Because we want to wipe out God. All right. If you know you want to rebel your parent, you know what to do that, right? So probably the parents just say opposite. Go out to sleep, go out to party every day. And they say, no, I'm going to come back home. I'm going to do a study. Maybe that's a way to work. Okay. Second, first is the sovereignty of God. Second, the sanctity of human life. That's how make human life different and special. You know the story, right? God created everything, but only when God created human beings, they say God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him male and female. Look at this, okay? Male and female. We all created by God's image. Then you're going to ask, oh, does God look like me as a two nose, one nose, two eyes? That's not, God has no such form. But I think that's just my own quick explanation of that is that I said it many times, why people love you, you feel good. Why not people hate you? Do anybody say, oh, hate me, oh, so happy, hate me more, oh, hate me more? No, right? You always, when people love you, say, oh, so good. I think that's image of God, because God is love. Another one is like, we'll say, oh, that's not fair. Why you say that? Why won't say, oh, people treat unfair? Say, oh, great, oh, come on, treat me more unfair. We want to treat it fairly because God is just. So I think that's just my two quick explanation for you. And you just see how evolution explained that. They just, oh, so you can be loved, be just so they can survive. You know, they just try to make this the reason. I think this is better explanation. Even our Declaration of Independence, you see that? All men are created equal. Oh, now we have trouble here. Back then, the man means the all human being, okay? And they are creator. So our right, whenever today we in America, so all our right, we have this right, we have that right, everything is right. Who give you? Where the right from? You got to see. We have right is because the right from God. Otherwise, who can give you those right? And so God is sovereign and life is special, not just evolved from animals. And that's why God legislates to protect life. You see that when God said, whoever shed the blood of man, by man should shed his blood be shed. For God made man in his own image. You see that? But now we see many states or countries want to get rid of death penalty. You see, totally opposite. They can kill the baby, but they don't want to have a death penalty. They know Bible very well. They purposely want to. They must really say, no, okay, God, you say so. I'm just going to turn around. All right. But when God say you should not murder, you when you do it, actually, it's protect life, because He won't have this punishment. Because that's what to prohibit people to harm other people. And then we come to ask the question: when does life begin? When? And you see, when people want to believe in God, they just twist. They got to twist the truth or fact or science, whatever, right? And then start to say, oh, the fetus or whatever in the mother's womb is not life. But with sonogram, we can see, even we can see the hand, we can see the moving. And so why we still say that's not life? And how you see this growing, which day they have all this. But life begin at the conception. That's in 1967. That we can find no point in time between the union of sperm and egg and the birth of an infant at which point we can say that this is not a human life. So if we know that's life, no matter how small, how weak, then that's image of God. All right, I'm going to skip that. So someone raise a hand, can read this for me? How about Sophie? Can you mute Sophie? Can she read this?
Okay, Psalms 139, verse 13. For you from my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. 14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. Verse 15. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Verse 16. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them.
Okay, thank you. Isn't that beautiful? For you, when we're in the mother's womb, God sees it, and it's already made by God. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So life is God's masterpiece. So when we destroy it, the life of abort a baby, we not just abort a life, we bring insult to God. Another place, Jeremiah said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you as a prophet and a nation. Wow. So you see that? So now we recognize that we need to embrace and celebrate and protect life. That's something we Christians need to do better. All right. We cannot just criticize, condemn other people. But how about ourselves? Do we embrace, celebrate, and protect life? This is I always, whenever I talk about it, it's very sad. Where are all the children from? All the children gone. Remember, there's a song, that's wherever the flower's gone, or whatever. Okay, anyway. So, America's birth dipped to 30 years low. All right. And there were, you see, that's 2017, 2016, down 2%. And it's lowest number in 30 years. And this is a newer one because COVID, okay, birth rate in 2019 fell to the lowest level in 35 years. So basically, it's that birth rate is lower and lower. Taiwan, South Korea, even worse. Give you some idea, in order to sustain the birth rate, population, the birth rate needs to be 2.1, okay? 2.1. Look at all these countries. It's way low. So they cannot sustain their population, right? But Taiwan, South Korea, even worse, right? I always like to look at this. Okay, South Korea could be extinct by 2750. All right. So 2750, no more K-pop. All right, sorry. All right, no more BTS. There'll be no Korean. All gone. And last year is first time they dropped more death than births at the first time. But opposite, God said Eve is the what? Is the Adam named his wife Eve because he would become the mother of all the livings. So you see, the world want to treat whatever God say is bad, all right? And God blessed them. And God said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. You see that? God didn't say, make them miserable, give them baby. Oh no, God said, bless them. But how about, you even often heard that, oh no, I have a baby, oh, I cannot do anything now. That's something we also need to rethink. How do we treat life? All right, you can say, oh, we don't do those things or we don't do bad things, but how do we treat what God's blessing? Behold, children are a heritage from God. Actually, the veterans of God. We parent, just the steward to do that. Blessed is the man who feel his quiver. We need to really treat God's blessing as a blessing. Oh, I keep this. There's sometimes quality, right? Often I say, oh, how about if people is born with problem, then should we just get rid of the baby? All right. Health is one thing, but how do you define what's a quality? All right. 2 Corinthians 4:16. So we do not lose heart. Though our outer cell is wasting away, our inner cell is being renewed day by day. You know what? Everybody born with defect. That's why we are going to die. That's sin. All right. That's reality. Although we are wonderfully made, yes, but everybody born with defect. So how are you going to say what type of defect? If that everybody going to, we all going to die because we have sinned. But even that, God gives each life hope. We all know this. Probably some of you know this, right? Nick, he was born without arm, without hands, and he say actually his parents want to say, give me this child. Wow, what's this? But in God's eye, they never mistake. He got married. He got kids. So don't be fooled by people say, oh, you have noticed, your life going to be miserable. All right? Or your grades are not good, you're going to be miserable. Don't buy into the lie. Another way, we also need to be doing adoption to replace abortion. Actually, we are all being adopted, okay? So this is my seminary professor, Russell Moore. He first adopted 2 boys because they feel they could not have baby. So they adopt 2 boys from Russia. And after they adopt, they got 3 their own. Isn't that amazing? All right. So he wrote a book to encourage Christians to adopt kids. And that's our hero. That's the story from beginning. All right. This is a Ken who was injured. And 20 years later, actually someone interviewed the doctor. And they said, whoa, doctor, what in your career, what most comes to your mind? And he remembered this guy, said, I didn't know whether I did the right thing to save the guy. He's such bad shape, but I still try to save him. I don't know how he's doing now. And then so the reporter said, oh, let me try to find him. Okay. So they spent 2 years. Finally, they find him. And then they reunited together. And that's what their conversations. What I had said in the morning after Ken's surgery was true. I was trained to care for the sick and wooden, and God will decide who lives or dies. But the day of our reunion, I knew it was true in the depths of my being. God can work miracles in the most desperate of circumstances for those who, like Ken, So, which or have courage and faith. Don't be fooled by our circumstances. Okay, I know, especially many of you are young kids. It's a, you know, my most beautiful, miserable time is when I'm in college. I fail my calculus. I fail my chemistry. Oh, that is miserable. I never think I'll be feel so sad, so bad, you know. And I, but what? You tried, but I asked God. That's the first time I went to ask counselor. I look up I was in a Christian school, and so we have a professor. He's Christian, so I went to see counseling for help. Sorry, professor, I feel all this. My life is miserable. What should I do? You know, and he encouraged me to move on. I went back to summer school. I retake the calculus, and I was number one. And my mom said, "Whoa, you are comeback kids." Chinese say 败部冠军, you know. And when I graduated, when I was in senior in college, I got scholarship. So don't let one point in your failure just say, my life, no meaning, gone. God can work miracles in most desolate of circumstances. Especially now I know in COVID-19, everybody locked down. I know many young people like you feel miserable. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. When you have a hope, your life can turn around, and God can give us that hope. Look at those. He even got married, has 2 daughters. All right. Someone, can someone read this verse for me? Too complicated. Let me read. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. So, for the sake of Christ, then I'm content with the weaknesses, insult, hardship, persecution, and calamities. For I am weak, then I am strong. Let's come to God. Yes, we are weak, but God can make us strong. Last example, I'm going to use her song to end. Johnny Erickson is just like many of us, and she's very athletic, and when she was 17 or 18 years old, she would, in the river, she just tried to dive, and she miscalculated the depth. So when he dived into the river, paralyzed, she got injured and paralyzed shoulder and down. And you think the life's no meaning for her? She kept going. She used mouth to draw, and she sing. And up to today, she still go out there to bring hope to many. So as you listen this song, I hope everybody can hear and to meditate to see your life is God's gift and is wonderful.
We are the ones who run to you when